Thank you, Dan. So, the start of one of the very best weekends of the footballing calendar. Round 3 of the FA Cup, providing the opportunity for those from way down the footballing pyramid to rub shoulders with the elite of our game. 4 non-league sides will do battle over the next 24 hours, hoping for their place in Cup immortality, with names to be added to a roll call of honour that evokes tinted memories of the enormous shocks of yesteryear. 729 teams started on the journey, with its sprinkling of clubs from level 10, the 6th level of the non-league game, and more than 660 have already been knocked out. Invariably in the recent past, that fate has befallen Swindon Town by now, and whilst unsurprisingly they are the last of the 5 representatives of the town and its immediate surroundings, their return to round 3 has been a long time in coming. It was 10 years ago today that they were last here, when Premier League opposition made the journey down from the northwest to Wiltshire, only to be vanquished. How many of the young Swindon fans here tonight would have dared to dream that Manchester City will go the same way as Wigan a decade on? And despite City's COVID-enforced selection problems, it will be a shock to rival just about anything that the great competition has thrown up in the 21st century. Those COVID-enforced selection problems deny them of Foden and Zinchenko, and there's no Sterling in the squad either. Jack Grealish, another absentee, but it is still an extraordinarily strong side, picked by Pep Guardiola and managed in his absence by Rodolfo Borrell from the sidelines. Stefan in goal, Walker, Diaz, Ake and Cancelo, De Bruyne, Rodri and Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, Jesus and Palmer. Swindon with Ward in goal, Hunt, Conroy and Odimeo, Kessler, Hayden, Lydon, Reed, Gladwin and Ian Dolo, Simpson and McCurdy up front. Well, in each of the last 4 seasons, Manchester City have lifted at least one of the domestic cups, and the hope of lengthening that streak now relies on success in the FA Cup. This is a competition they've only won twice in more than 50 years. And whilst this season's run begins to await a League 2 opposition, they did trail to a 4th-tier side in the last 10 minutes last January. And it's that near miss up the road at Cheltenham that will give Swindon a little bit of hope tonight, and might just have influenced Manchester City's team selection as well. Swindon, red shirts, white shorts, and they'll defend the town end away to the right-hand side. Manchester City in pea coat, all dark blue, kicking from left to right. The players take the knee ahead of kick-off. And Darren England gets us underway. Here's the FA Cup 3rd round, and a chance for Swindon to create one of the biggest shocks of the lot. Alongside me, Andy Townsend.
You know, Jim, I'm really looking forward to how a League 2 team that are growing, that are having a good season in their own right, can fare against the very, very best. And my goodness, this Manchester City team tonight is littered with some of their stellar names. So it's a fantastic challenge opportunity for Swindon to be brave and go from it.
And Manchester City breaking forward with their first attack of the game. Kevin De Bruyne has started in midfield, flicking it forward for Walker. Layoff from him to Palmer. Works it onto his left foot and angled one towards the top left-hand corner. Conroy did well, got his head to it and steered it away for a corner. First of the game inside the opening minute.
Yeah, again, that's what City do there. Century, they played it to the edge of the 18-yard box where they had a little overload. The ball was cut back from Kyle Walker to Cole Palmer. His left foot curling shot was going towards the far post. Just a little deflection out for a corner.
And it's a corner which will be taken away to our right-hand side, swung in towards the near post and easily headed away by Gladwin. Played by the blonde-haired Palmer, back towards Cancelo. And just a breakdown in communication for a moment in the midfield, but no problems as far as Manchester City are concerned. Now they have the ball out the back again with Cancelo. Will take a touch and just work it to his left-hand side for Nathan Ake, who's in the Manchester City side again this evening. He played at left-back in the win at Arsenal, but restored to the heart of the defence tonight. Ake, a man who's played in a couple of FA Cup semi-finals in his career, one for Watford and one for Chelsea. Ball given away in the midfield again, and it's Simpson that will try and bulldoze his way forward towards the edge of the City penalty area. Ake comes across the clear, but every positive contribution from a man in red is being greeted with almost an ecstatic roar from the Swindon fans right in front of us.
Yeah, rapturous applause. Actually, it was Carl Walker who gave the ball away. And you're right, Torres Simpson it was who picked it up and got running.
On that occasion, City win it back again with De Bruyne in the midfield, getting there ahead of Kane Kessler-Hayden, the youngster in this Swindon team, just 18, a young right-sided defender who's on loan from Aston Villa. He played in the third round of the Cup last season as well for Villa in that very young side that they were forced to field against Liverpool. Here's Cancelo, left back for Manchester City tonight, worked out to the left, where Gabriel Jesus is playing. It is Bernardo Silva at the moment who is playing in the central striking role for Manchester City, but as is always the way, just dropping that little bit deeper, and Gundogan is making a good run forward here towards the edge of the penalty area. Swindon struggling to clear their lines. Rodri able to pick it up. He's put under pressure by McCurdy, but Ake now has it, and he feeds it just slightly further forward to his left-hand side for Cancelo. Cancelo out wide to Gabriel Jesus on the left flank here for City, pushing forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Now an opportunity to deliver on the overlap. Cancelo couldn't hook his foot around it. It is cleared by Hunt, the centre half, and then Reed will get it further away for Swindon, and McCurdy will be able to pick it up on the Swindon right, but couldn't find his strike partner Simpson, and Manchester City work it back for Zach Steffen. 4 gone here on TalkSport. It's Swindon 0, Manchester City 0, and here's Andy Townsend.
Yeah, vital when Swindon do get an opportunity to turn the ball over. We just saw Harry McCurdy there. Just tried to one-touch pass it into his teammate. Have that extra touch. Just settle the ball, secure it before you want to try and knock anything too quick, too clever, and you'll just give the ball away again. And it might be a while before you get it back. So I think it's vitally important tonight that when Swindon do get people on the ball with just that little bit of time, use it, take it, have that extra touch, make sure you find your target.
Here is Cole Palmer in the midfield, just drifting in from the right flank for Manchester City, number 80 on his back. Played out to the City left. Cancelo just linking up with Gabriel Jesus, and then Cancelo trying to work a ball in for Bernardo Silva, who scoops it over the bar. First presentable chance of the night falling Manchester City's way, and it was a good pull back. Bernardo Silva had found that bit of space inside the penalty area, just leaning back slightly, got his left foot underneath it, and trying to pass it into the top right-hand corner, missed by a couple of feet.
Yeah, poor finish actually for Bernardo Silva. Great play from João Cancelo down that left side, little 1-2 give and go, takes him in behind that Swindon back line. And again, the cutback, as you say, Jim, just above the penalty spot, but a bit of a tame effort really from Bernardo Silva.
Gundogan finding Rodri, and he can now drive forward towards the edge of the box, feeding it out to the City left-hand side, where a cross from Kevin De Bruyne can't find his man, and a free kick is given. And away to our right-hand side in the Alan McLaughlin town end, a banner has been unfurled that says Lily's Red Army. And with 5 minutes on the clock, you'll be able to hear some growing applause around us. And that is in support of a local girl, just 5 years of age, Swindon fan Lily, who's battling leukemia at the moment. And our hopes are with her and her family. Here's Gladwin in the midfield. Gladwin just on the edge of the centre circle, working it back for Reed, who's got options to his right, including Kessler-Hayden, who was just waiting for one of his teammates to take responsibility there. It didn't quite happen. The ball goes out of play for what ends up being a Swindon throw, but just a slight breakdown in communication there between Kessler-Hayden and Hunt. Ball now back with Mayo, and he will find Conroy, who turns it back to his goalkeeper Lewis Ward, who gets the nod tonight for Swindon in the absence of first choice goalkeeper Jojo Wallacott, who is preparing for the African Cup of Nations with Ghana at the moment. Ward's long ball out towards Kessler-Hayden on the Swindon right. The right wing back does love to get forward. It's into the feet of McCurdy. Little layoff through the midfield. Reed trying to take over. McCurdy gets it back again. Palmer is in there on the edge of his own penalty area trying to get it away. And then Reed's industry sets up an opportunity. It's a left-footed ball in from Iandolo. Just missed by Leiden, who is coming in at the far post. And Manchester City survive. One potent ball inside the penalty area, and it caused some problems.
Terrific football that from Swindon. Started with Kessler-Hayden on the far side. Again, it just showed a nice bit of composure. They drifted the ball across the field from right to left. Eventually that Really good ball coming in from Iandolo. Very, very close to getting on the end of that, Jordan Lydon.
Excellent atmosphere here at the county ground. The Manchester City supporters are situated away to our left-hand side at what used to be the big open terrace here, the Stratton Bank. And Swindon fans all around us, and away to our right-hand side, packed tightly into the town end. A crowd of about 15,500 here in North East Wiltshire tonight. Kevin De Bruyne has the ball, works it briskly down towards Palmer. Walker laying it back for De Bruyne again, coming into a central position about 10 yards outside the penalty area. Back it goes to Rodri, and then Diaz for Ake, and out towards Joao Cancelo. Jesus making a run down the left-hand side for him, and taking on Kessler Hayden. He'll be able to check back down by the dead ball line. Straight out of room, did he? Yes, he did. Goal kick given, which will be taken by Ward away to our right-hand side. And Swindon have got through the first 8 minutes. One nervy moment for them with Bernardo Silva scooping over the bar, but they've laid down a solid foundation. 0-0.
They have. They've done all right, and they had that lovely little situation about 90 seconds ago when from the left side they produced a decent cross, had some numbers in the box. But I think all in all, it's been a confident start from Bengana's team.
72 places between these two sides in the league structure, and Swindon's home record actually, even in League 2, hasn't been great this season. They've only won 3 of the 11 league games they've played, seeing off Mansfield, Hartlepool, and most significantly second place Northampton last time out. They've beaten 5-2 in what was, judging by the highlights, an absolutely thrilling game. It was a masterclass of finishing, particularly from McCurdy up front, who scored 4 of the 5. Taking him up to 10 goals for the season, and his strike partner Tyrese Simpson, who's on loan from Ipswich, is in double figures as well. Here's Ake coming out from the back for Manchester City. And Cancelo will hit a long ball down to the left. Kessler Hayden turning it away on the volley, letting the ball drop over his shoulder and playing it into the Don Rogers stand on the far side. Don Rogers, the greatest Swindon Cup hero of them all, the man that masterminded the League Cup final victory over Arsenal back in the late 1960s. Ball knocked away as it was played forward by Walker. There was a slightly sliced clearance. It came off for Odimeo, but been well won back in the midfield by Gladwin, and gives it away just as quickly. Rodri has it, turns it forward for Walker. Walker to De Bruyne, to Palmer, and then back for Walker again. Manchester City about 15 yards inside Swindon territory. Still 0-0 with nearly 10 minutes gone. Ake then working it out to the City left again. De Bruyne finding a little bit of pocket of space, not too far outside the box. But it's worked back instead to Joao Cancelo. City then work it from the inside left channel out towards this right flank via Walker for Palmer, coming in on his favoured left foot, then finding Walker again, now down towards Bernardo Silva, who's drifted out to the right flank. He comes in, left-footed ball chipped in towards the far post. Jesus trying to keep it alive, and all he could do really was get a foot on it. Had actually gone over the line anyway, and out of play for a goal kick that will be taken by Ward, and it's 0-0 with 11 minutes gone here on TalkSport.
Yeah, nothing too much to report so far from a City point of view. One or two nice little spells of possession, as you would expect. Poor clearance there from the goalkeeper, Lewis Ward.
Picked up by De Bruyne, works it through towards Ilkay Gundogan, Bernardo Silva. De Bruyne tries his luck on the edge of the penalty area. Excellent block coming in. And Lydon did well. Threw himself into the line of fire right in front of Kevin De Bruyne. And the loose ball ricochets away and out of play for a throw.
That's the sort of thing you've got to be careful. That was just a lack of concentration there from Lewis Ward. With the ball at his feet, he ducked his clearance straight to Gundogan on the edge of the box. Couple of passes, all of a sudden you're in trouble. That's how you will get punished, so they must be mindful of that.
Walker plays it back to the edge of the penalty area from a throw on the City right. Cancelo has it now. City, as always, switching play very quickly from right to left, and now back again down towards Cole Palmer on this Manchester City right. Walker on the overlap for him. Good sliding challenge, Riandolo, and it goes out of play for another Manchester City corner. You're listening to live coverage of the FA Cup on TalkSport, thanks to Neutrogena T-Gel Therapeutic Shampoo. Always read the label. It's 0-0.
It is indeed. That's what City, that last little passage of play there, where the ball come out to Cole Palmer, who's got the ball on his left foot on the right side. Kyle Walker making that big overlapping run. That's what City do really well.
In comes the corner. It's an away swing, a good header from Odimeo. They just got it out of harm's way. Palmer then with a header which wasn't so good. Swindon will get it forward quickly towards McCurdy. His control was a little bit awkward, but City win it back with Cancelo and find Stefan. He made a darting run forward, putting pressure on the American goalkeeper, but Manchester City are able to play their way out from the back very simply. This is the first of 9 live FA Cup third round ties we've got for you this weekend here on TalkSport. As De Bruyne plays it in, Palm with a little layoff towards the edge of the penalty area. Bernardo Silva's quickness of thought and feet, maintaining possession for City. Here it comes from Rodri towards the edge of the box for Cancelo, working onto his right foot, and a shot which just screwed through and wide of the near post, goes out for a goal kick which will be taken by Swindon away to our right hand side. As I say, this is the first of 9 live FA Cup ties. Tomorrow, Millwall against Crystal Palace at 12:45, Chelsea against Chesterfield at 5:30. Over on TalkSport 2, Port Vale Brentford at 3, and Everton's trip to Hull at 5:30, and Dan Windle's at Agborough tomorrow for all the goals as they go in on Game Day Live, including Kidderminster Reading, Leicester Watford, West Brom Brighton, and Eddie Howe's Newcastle against Cambridge. Here's Cole Palmer tricking his way through inside the penalty area, and he's driven a low ball past the goalkeeper, but Bernardo Silva's there to tap it over the line. It has taken 14 minutes for the breakthrough, and it's the youngster in the Manchester City team, Cole Palmer, who receives the congratulations. All the hard work done by him, just an assist for Bernardo Silva. But Manchester City's 2022 FA Cup campaign is off and running.
Yeah, no team gets to the dead ball line better than Manchester City, and Cole Palmer there exploited it beautifully on that left foot off the right side, running towards the edge of the 6-yard box, little step over, then drops to the byline, fires it across the gully, and Bernardo Silva has a tap-in from literally a couple of yards out. And that's the first time that they've kind of really upped the pace of their football in the final third, and it's produced the first goal of the night.
And continues Bernardo Silva's excellent run in this competition. He's now scored in the FA Cup in each of the last 5 seasons. The Swindon with it all to do, trailing by a goal to nil here on TalkSport. Cole Palmer's contribution cannot be overstated. Swindon work it forward here for McCurdy, who will get on the right-hand touchline, the opportunity to deliver. Nathan Ake, who's right in front of him, block the cross, and it goes out of play for a throw, which Kane Kessler-Hayden goes over to take. Drops it quickly short at the feet of Leiden. Work back through the Swindon midfield, and then further back again towards halfway. Conroy has it. He goes square to his left-hand side for Akin Odimeo. And Odimeo goes back to Conroy and out towards the right-hand touchline again, where Reed will be able to play it forward, but flags up as Kessler-Hayden receives it, and he'd taken a touch just after the ball had gone out of play for a throw. Swindon 0, Manchester City 1.
I think that's interesting, a little sign of the times there. Swindon had a throw in level with Manchester City's 18-yard line. They took that throw and went all the way back into their own half because they want to keep it, they want to play. In FA Cup ties of old, you'd have seen that ball being thrown in, long throw, right under the near post, people piling in after it.
Cancelo trying to flick one in with the outside of the right boot. It was a very well-intentioned pass, and they nearly got Bernardo Silva in again. Swindon bring it forward here with McCurdy. Slightly awkward control, which first of all worked his way and then didn't as it bobbled away from him, and Rodri was able to pick it up, but Gundogan's lost it. Leiden, another former Aston Villa player, working it out towards Kessler-Hayden on the right-hand side, and he'll be able to bring it forward and now feed Simpson. Simpson has to stretch to bring the ball under control. He can work it back for Louis Reed, who played in the League Cup semi-final early in his career with Sheffield United. Now Swindon work it forward again, in towards the feet of Simpson. Ake trying to stop him turning. Leiden picking it up, and Rodri picked his pocket, and City had it back. Just going back to that point you were making, Andy, about the change now in the approach of a lower division team in a cup tie like this. Is that to their detriment?
I think it can be sometimes, Jim. I do. And look, and there's a lot to admire about the guys nowadays and the way they approach the game and how much they want to. They know that possession often dominates football matches, and you can turn that dominance into chances and therefore goals. But I do think when you're in an FA Cup tie, you've got a packed house. Get it in that box. Every time it goes near City's box, the crowd...
Now the back header. Oh, it's over the bar. Bernardo Silva could have had a hat-trick inside the opening 17 minutes. So the ball was played forward there from City. Otamendi backpedaling towards the edge of his own penalty area. Looked for his goalkeeper in vain. It came off the top of his head.
Yeah.
And as he looked round, he saw Bernardo Silva lurking. And the Portuguese was in there first, but fired it over the bar.
Should have scored. Otamendi, wrong choice. He's trying to go back with his head from sort of 22 yards out. It's a long way. The goalkeeper wasn't quite there, and all he done was nod it towards the penalty spot, and Bernardo Silva on the half volley fires it over. Should have ended up at the back of the net.
Otamendi gets it away this time. Swindon's defensive record far from sparkling. They let in 2 in the last home game. They let in 4 at Orient just before Christmas as well. It is certainly a team you can get at, but it's very much a back 5 from them tonight. Generally a back 3 with 2 attacking wing backs in league games, where you can understand that that's not particularly practical this evening against Manchester City, who've dominated possession and have the lead through Bernardo Silva, who's missed 2 good chances, one either side of that opening goal that's put on a plate for him by Cole Palmer. City have it again. Jesus in possession towards the edge of the penalty area, laying it off for De Bruyne, down towards Walker. Right hand side of the penalty area here for Manchester City. He's pulled it back for De Bruyne, who briskly works it wide to the left. Cancelo taking a touch, trying to get past Kessler-Hayden, sets it up instead for a ball from Bernardo Silva, which was deflected inside the Swindon penalty area and then cleared by Gladwin. And Ake able to mop up at the back for Manchester City, who, as you would expect, very good value for the 1-goal advantage that they have against their name so far. 19 minutes gone, and here on TalkSport alongside me is Andy Townsend.
Yeah, the goal up. It could have been 3, should have been 2, but Swindon have done okay. I would just like to see them keep everybody in the ground, really involve that little bit more, and sometimes be a little bit direct, be a little blatant. You don't have to abandon your principles. We know they want to play, and they're nice and neat and tidy at times, but don't deny the supporters and your forwards, more importantly, the chance to get involved in the game by putting something in the box now and again.
And City will try and do exactly that now for their supporters away to our left-hand side. Ilkay Gundogan in possession, working back for Ruben Dias, now forward for Kyle Walker. Walker down towards Palmer. Palmer back for Walker again. And now Nathan Ake can bring it forward, coming out of the centre circle, just slipping it forward into the feet of Ilkay Gundogan, who hit it briskly straight at Rodri from close range, and the loose ball picked up by Swindon, and McKirdy, who's a real bundle of energy with his long hair. He looks like an Aussie rules footballer, is the best way of describing him.
It's a good shout, Jim.
He's 24, he's got a receding hairline that's going to get the better of him before too long. He's making the most of it by wearing it halfway down his back, but when he's got the ball, he's got sort of a barrel-chested running style, and he's very industrious. Ball played in here at the other end by Walker, which is Mr. Bruyne.
He speaks well of you, Jim, by the way.
Well, I haven't got his hairline, but if you paid me £1 million, I couldn't get it halfway down the back like that.
But you're right, he is all action, and he's that sort of lad. There's a bit of Steve Claridge in him, the way that he's sort of running around. He's got his shirt hanging out, his socks down, but he's always having a go.
City winning possession cheaply again inside the Swindon penalty area. It's set up for a shot which is well saved by Ward. De Bruyne didn't really get hold of it on his left foot, and Ward diving down to his left can make the save and then bowled it out quickly for Kessler-Hayden. And all the time that it is just 1-0, Swindon are a good counter-attack or an excellent set piece away from getting themselves back on level terms. And with the side that Pep Guardiola has picked tonight, it smacks of getting the job done inside 50 minutes, 55 minutes, then giving the kids an opportunity and letting the experienced big hitters, or some of them, have more of a night off. But at the moment, the advantage is just the one. Given to them by this man, Bernardo Silva, who comes back here for Walker. Now for Ruben Dias. Falling towards De Bruyne again. Ilkay Gundogan taking over for Manchester City. City won their last 9 FA Cup ties against lower division sides, and they've averaged 3.5 goals a game in the process. And it's 10 years since Swindon last saw off Premier League opposition in the FA Cup. In fact, 10 years since Swindon last played Premier League opposition in the FA Cup. They've struggled in this competition like no other lower division side have. They hardly won a cup tie over the last few years, but have earned the right this time around, having won 3-0 at Crewe in round 1 and then 3-2 at Walsall in the Black Country in round 2 to earn this big money tie tonight, being played out in front of a capacity crowd of about 15,500, which is the biggest crowd they've had here at the county ground for many a year. We're midway through the first half. It's Swindon 0, Manchester City 1.
Yeah, just keeping possession now, City. They're not in a hurry to do anything. They quicken it up. They up the speed and the intensity of their game as they approach the Swindon 18-yard line, but there's a lot of passes across the back line into midfield and back to those full-back positions. They're just waiting for the right time to either switch the play very quickly, get those little overloads in the wide areas. Swindon, as you can imagine, with their back 3, it's almost a back 5, a back 6 at times, and that's perfectly understandable and very natural. You feel safe. You have comfort sometimes with men behind the ball, but against the best players it's important you work out to the ball. You stop people from picking their heads up, like De Bruyne, like Gundogan and Rodri in the middle of the park. You've got to prevent them from finding their targets, so you've got to get close.
From 4 o'clock every weekday morning, you can download the TalkSport Daily podcast, which will include some of the best bits from TalkSport and TalkSport 2 over the last 24 hours. TalkSport Daily, and you can listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify or Acast. And tomorrow morning, Weekend Sports Breakfast, Natalie Sawyer is joined by Dean Saunders. Here's McCurdy trying to get in after Ruben Dias slightly misjudged the ball back to his goalkeeper Stefan, and McCurdy was lurking with intent. Stefan did get there, but now Swindon win a free kick down by the corner flag, which has been conceded by João Cancelo. And here's an opportunity for the League 2 side to flood the penalty area, and if they are going to find a way back into this game, this is the type of chance they simply have to take.
Yeah, good work that from McCurdy. Ruben Dias actually knocked that back to his goalkeeper blind. He didn't really check his shoulder before he did it, and McCurdy gambled, got on the end of it. They recycled it, Swindon, and they drew a foul about 2 yards from the corner flag on that right side. So pretty much like a corner routine here, Jim. This is going to be whipped in, and hopefully a red shirt can really go and attack it.
Well, it's Reed that stands over it, and Swindon have got 7 forward to attack it. It's an away swinging delivery coming in deep towards the far post. It's half cleared. Simpson, the Swindon striker, will be able to mop up. He goes back for Mayo, and he in turn, to the crowd's frustration, all the way back to his goalkeeper Ward. That allows Manchester City to push right out to within 15 yards of halfway. They still work forward intelligently. Ian Dolo, and he's won a throw which will be taken on the Swindon left, and again Mayo goes all the way back to his goalkeeper. Now Ward's outside his penalty area now under pressure from Bernardo Silva, and all he can do is just hoof it upfield, and it goes straight out of play for a throw which Manchester City will take to regain control of the game. That's Swindon's best spell. But a couple of little skirmishes over the last 60 seconds or so.
Yeah, decent opportunity actually when they had that free kick in a wide position. Ball came in, but the ball went back to Mayo, who then went back again to the goalkeeper, and the speed with which City cleared their own box and immediately picked up the position again up on the halfway line where they have the ball back at their feet. So, and again, that's the principles Ben Garner is laying down to his players. But I think on the night you've got to also just try and imagine what is going to upset City more. And I think trying to keep possession, you're not going to keep it forever against this team. I think what is important, when you get chances and to put the ball in the box, you've got numbers up there, you must keep it in there. You've got to keep it alive in the box to have a chance to get back in the game, to create a chance to try and work Zach Steffen, which hasn't happened up to now.
Cole Palmer, who set up the goal, working it back through the midfield for Ake, and then Palmer's continued his run forward. Ball drifts over his head, and Ian Dolo keeping an eye on him. Just a little collision between the pair of them, but Palmer went to ground. There's no VAR in tonight's tie. There is in some of the FA Cup third round ties, but not in this one. And that ball just drifted straight out of play for a goal kick, which will be taken by Lewis Ward away to our right-hand side. This is a Manchester City side, remember, that have won 11 in a row in the Premier League and 6 in a row in all competitions. A City side that have lost only 3 of the last 28 games in all competitions, and in many of those they won't have played sides as strong as this. City have it back, and it's another chance which is taken by Gabriel Jesus, and it's Swindon, architects of their own downfall, again trying to play out from the back, and it was a mistake by the goalkeeper Ward. Another poor ball out, City turning over possession, and as soon as they did so, it was routine that the opportunity would fall for Jesus, and he slotted it in easily. Swindon 0, Manchester City 2, and perhaps, just perhaps, there are times that you have to abandon your philosophies and play percentage football.
They're trying to play out. City are going after them like they're going after Liverpool, like they're going after Chelsea, at genuine pace, and Swindon are trying to play their way through that, with the goalkeeper playing it to a centre-half, then playing it to the pivot on the edge of their own box. They give the ball away, a little 1-2, Gabriel Jesus goes through, slots it past for goal number 2. Now that is naive, that's not unlucky, that's not playing sensibly to me. And again, Ben Garner, there's nothing wrong with your team playing in the right situation, but I do think that was a little bit silly and unnecessary. Trying to play your way out there, you're inviting City to come and press you, and if that isn't accurate, they're going to punish you.
Now Swindon have won it back. Good play by Reed, and he almost was able to thread McCurdy inside the penalty area, but it's too close to Stephen, and he could come out and take control of the situation for Manchester City, who lead here at the county ground by 2 goals to 0.
I just think there, Jim, Louis Reed just hit that. He's 25 yards out. He's trying to find McCurdy. Again, nothing wrong with that. The centre forward saluted the idea, even though he overhit the pass. But he had a couple of yards in front of him. Take that couple of yards and get your head down and hit it.
Here's Ake for Manchester City, leading with goals from Bernardo Silva on 14 and Gabriel Jesus on 28. Jesus, who scored a couple of goals in the final in 2019, the last time that Manchester City won the cup, when they blitzed Watford in that final 3 seasons ago. Here's Cancelo. Cancelo coming in off the left-hand touchline can find Ilkay Gundogan. And Lewis Ward in goal for Swindon tonight, a player that they signed from Exeter last summer, and has been guilty, and it's very easy for me to say, I appreciate that, of just the odd nervy touch. He's looked like a player who hasn't quite played as much first-team football as he would have liked in recent times. The big opportunity coming his way with Wallacott being away at the African Cup of Nations, and just on a couple of occasions been guilty of trying to play out from the back and stick to the footballing principles when it maybe wasn't on to do so. City will work it wide towards the right for De Bruyne, who controls it a yard in from the right-hand touchline, and he's got the taller Palmer infield, and he's done well. He's just breezed past Ian Dolo, and he's curved one in towards the bottom left-hand corner, which has been cleared. Back out towards De Bruyne again. His ball in, headed away by Conroy, and then whacked away by Leiden on the edge of his own penalty area. And this time Swindon do look long, and they look for McCurdy, who is a handful. Caused problems there for Walker, who was grateful just to be able to use his body and get between McCurdy and the ball and get it back to his goalkeeper. And he's then given it away to McCurdy, who tried his luck and couldn't lob Stephen from 30 yards out. Stephen acknowledging his error, but he passed it straight to McCurdy, but McCurdy couldn't make the most of the chance, and that's the difference between the two teams. Goalkeeping error at one end is punished, goalkeeping error at the other isn't.
Wow, what a chance that was for McCurdy. Zach Stephen literally passed it to him. He was about 23 yards out, and he had plenty of room to chip him, to go big over the goalkeeper, and unfortunately he just ducked at the opportunity a little bit, and the goalkeeper managed to scramble back, recover and catch it, but that was a little casual. But going back to Lewis Ward, Jim, when you see Ederson every now and again, he's a brilliant goalkeeper, puts his foot through it.
Cancelo's ball in towards the near post, knocked away.
Yeah, knocks it long, knocks it up the field, goes from back to front very quickly, eliminates everybody. All those opposing players in front of him that are ready to go and press the ball. How many times does see Ederson all of a sudden ping it from left to right or right to left? And again, that's just understanding and recognising the right time to play, and also to mix things up a little bit. And I think if Lewis Ward has been guilty of anything so far, he's just trying to play a little too often, I think, from that position.
Ian Dolo forced to concede another corner as a long diagonal from the Manchester City left. Look for the run of Palmer in past him. But that is an area that Manchester City will feel they can exploit. That has been exploited in recent Swindon games, the gaps between centre half and left wing back. On that occasion, the Swindon captain got his angles right and was able to divert it behind for a corner, which is Manchester City's third, and they look for their third goal. It's going to be De Bruyne to take it, both arms above his head, in very deep. Coming round the back was Diaz, who's nodded it down, and it's half cleared. And it goes out of play for a throw, which will be taken over on the far touchline. Taken quickly to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva level with the edge of the penalty area. Just forced to retreat a little to find Rodri. Rodri bypasses Walker and hitting an aerial ball for De Bruyne. He's taken a couple of steps back and nods it down for Diaz. De Bruyne bringing it forward again. Palmer outside him. And Palmer bring it on to his right foot. And then his left. Always looks to be shown inside. It's a peach of a ball in towards the far post. And Kessler Hayden's defended it well. Watching the run coming in from behind him from Cancelo, and he puts it out of play for a corner, which will be taken on the Manchester City left.
You know, we're used to seeing Phil Foden's quality with his left foot and the way that he sort of walks the ball up to people and just a little bit of body movement just to give himself a little bit of room. Cole Palmer's got plenty of that too on that left foot. Again, he's been teasing Yandolo most of the half so far.
Corner is taken short, and De Bruyne whacks it in straight at Gladwin, and it comes out of play again for a throw, which will be taken over on the far side. He might feel more than any other player in the Manchester City side that this is an opportunity he has to take Cole Palmer, and I know that his career isn't going to be solely judged on his ability to play in one cup tie against League Two opposition, but he hasn't got that many miles on the clock, and he's taken the chance so far.
He's done very well so far. I mean, he just, again, Foden-like, the way that he moves with the ball, it's all very easy, very natural for him.
City bring it forward again. Rodri into the feet of Jesus in a more central position. Now to Palmer, working it onto his left foot, but unable to get into a shooting position. He goes to his left-hand side for De Bruyne. Ake, now Cancelo, who's got Gundogan in support. Kessler Hayden is there with him for Swindon in their traditional red shirts and white shorts. Ball played forward intelligently. Bernardo Silva's offside though, and it's a free kick to Swindon inside their box. 10 to go to half-time. It's Swindon 0, Manchester City 2 on TalkSport. Yeah,
held the line there well. Swindon on the edge of the 18-yard box. A little bit of a problem just at the moment on the far side for Kane Kessler Hayden. He's just down. It was actually played very well, the young right wing back. Again, he's been very neat and tidy in possession, but he just took a little bit of a knock there, I think, on his knee, back up on his feet. But yeah, look, City very much in control and absolutely enjoying most of the possession, and you will feel, of course, that they're add to their tally. But Swindon have done okay, Jim. They've done all right, honestly. I just think be a little bit more blatant with your forward play, your forward thinking. Don't be afraid to just go from back to front that little bit quicker. The best teams do. Think about Liverpool, and Van Dijk pings it from one end of the field and drops it on a play for Mo Salah. You know, the top players do it. And I think Swindon mustn't get too caught up in just trying to show the world that they're a neat and tidy little football team. They've got to have an effect on the game, and sometimes you have to be a little bit more blatant with what you do.
Those are the thoughts of Andy Townsend. You're listening to live coverage of the FA Cup on TalkSport. Thanks to Neutrogena T-Gel Therapeutic Shampoo. Always read the label. Here's Joao Cancelo. Now to Ake. Diaz to his right-hand side. It's 2-0 to Manchester City with goals from Bernardo Silva, who could have had a hat-trick. Probably should have done. And Gabriel Jesus. Jesus, who's in a long goal-scoring drought at the moment in the Premier League. He's got a couple of Champions League goals in the meantime, but I'm sure the one that he scored tonight will have done him the world of good as well. Goal that has taken him up to 6 for the season. Walker finding Ake. And Ake coming forward now for Manchester City. Bernardo Silva has made his way into the edge of the D. Palmer's coming around the back. It was a good clearance from Iandolo, who tracked him every step of the way. Back in from De Bruyne, across the face of goal, but too far away from the Manchester City players who were coming in. Jesus is able to pick it up, and he'll recycle it on the City left. Trying to get the better of Kessler Hayden. He's just laid it off. Rodri has it now. Referee England trying to get out of the way, and succeeding in doing so. Kevin De Bruyne. Back for Diaz, but all of the outfield City players are well inside Swindon territory. Bernardo Silva to Palmer. Palmer again shown inside, gets a return ball. Bernardo Silva trying to take it on. Reed stops him getting too far, but had to play the way that he was facing. Went back to his goalkeeper, whose hurry clearance was effective. And then it was played forward towards Simpson, who in trying to hold it up was fouled there by Ruben Diaz. And it's a free kick in the centre circle to Swindon, and a little bit of respite for them. Set to go to half-time.
It's always the best way to just give you back four, back three in this case. Give them a little bit of a breather, serve it forward, and ask the front guys to just make something of it. And they're willing runners, Tyrese Simpson and McCurdy. They really are. They're energetic and they're very generous with their work rate. It doesn't have to be perfect, up to them. Let them try and make the very best of it.
Last meeting of these two sides was in the FA Cup. It was 20 years ago this week when City won 2-0 at Main Road. Didn't know it at the time. It ended up being an historic day, although we didn't find out for another 15, 16 months or so. It was because it ended up being the last cup tie that Manchester City ever won at Main Road. Goals from one shot and former Swindon man Horlock. Here's Gladwin, bring it forward for Swindon, and towards the right-hand side of the penalty area. Good ball in, knocked away by Walker before Simpson had a tap in. But Swindon, as a result of that, had their first corner of the night.
Fantastic ball in. Jordan Lydon it was, who whipped one across the 6-yard line. And again, you can just hear and you can feel the Swindon fans just really connected every time that their team just turn City round and get them running back towards their goal.
Louis Reed, the man that has gone across to take it. So Kessler Hayden stands hands on hips on the edge of the D. Everybody apart from Odimeo is forward to attack this. It's swung in and Gabriel Jesus can head it away easily. That's another wasted opportunity.
Yeah, second time they've had a corner there. They're swinging it out to the edge of the 18-yard box. It's not an outswinger to the penalty spot. They're taking it all the way.
McCurdy hooks one inside the box. Walker able to let the ball bounce and then guide a header back for Stefan, who quickly bowls it out for him again. And Manchester City on the front foot quickly. Swindon have got their shape back behind the ball now. And Cancelo is able to bring it forward. You're with TalkSport, the first of 9 FA Cup third round commentaries we've got for you over the course of this weekend. 5 minutes to go to the break. Manchester City leading it by 2-0. Sunday, Liverpool against Shrewsbury and Nottingham Forest against Arsenal are coming your way on TalkSport, while Spurs against Morecambe is over on TalkSport 2. Monday night, it's Manchester United against Villa with a 5-8 kickoff here on TalkSport. The draw, incidentally, if you're wondering when your side's going to have their name pulled out of the hat, hopefully it's after the West Ham game on Sunday. So we'll have that draw for you about 10 to 5, something like that on Sunday. I remember the last time that I was interested in an FA Cup fourth round draw from a footballing supporter's perspective, and I doubt it's going to happen again for a while. But if your side are still in the hat, or you're hopeful that they will be, the very best of luck. That's when you can hear the draw here on TalkSport. Here's Kyle Walker now for Manchester City, leading by 2-0. They'll certainly be expecting to be in that draw. Back from Diaz to Nathan Ake, and he will be able to bring it forward. Swindon 0, City 2.
Yeah, I've enjoyed the game again. I think Swindon will learn that they mustn't lose possession of the ball, mustn't give possession away 30 yards from their own goal against the best teams. You do that against the top players, and a couple of quick passes, they're in behind you and it's in the back of your net, and that's what's happened. That was a steep and sharp learning curve for them for that second goal. The first goal was good play. Cole Palmer got to the byline and just found Bernardo Silva for a tap-in. Nice football. City do that to the very best teams. So so that's no shame. But again, just trying to eliminate those unnecessary, unforced errors.
And there's another one. Reed looking for Iandolo, didn't find him. Walker cut out the pass. He found Palmer. Palmer takes it inside the Swindon penalty area and then checks back out, lays it outside the box for Walker. Rodri back for Carl Walker again. Down towards Cole Palmer one more time. Iandolo seen this particular film on many occasions, and on that occasion didn't try and show him outside, just stopped him coming back inside. City then working into a congested part of the field and lose it, and Swindon get it forward quickly for McCurdy, who was quickly closed down, but Simpson coming in on the right hand side of the penalty area. He's beaten to it by the rapid Ruben Diaz, who came across and covered.
He did. Unlucky there, Harry McCurdy. The ball was served up to him. His first touch was good. He set Ruben Diaz one-on-one to try and run him, but the big centre-half just slowed him down and enabled his teammates to recover their position, and they surrounded McCurdy and pinched the ball back.
McCurdy, another player with an Aston Villa past, one of the youngsters at Villa back in the day, and he's got an excellent goal scoring record in this competition in his career as well. 5 goals in 9 FA Cup ties before tonight, and a player who's banging form. He's got a good celebration as well, which he will hope to dust off again. Saw it 4 times in that game the other day when they beat Northampton 5-2 here. Goes down on one knee with the imitation gun, shooting those in the crowd. Now McCurdy standing in a one-man wall here as Manchester City have a free kick, which is 15 yards outside the penalty area. It'll be taken from the right-hand side by De Bruyne. De Bruyne just bending it in towards the far post where Rodri was coming round the back. Took a couple of touches on his way through and goes out of play for a corner. Bernardo Silva, Jesus, I beg your pardon, actually made a really good darting run down the inside right channel that nobody had found.
Yeah.
If De Bruyne had been able to flick it around the wall, there could have been problems. City's 5th corner, taken quickly and short, and then, pinged in, but just wide. Well, some of those in the crowd thought it was in, and I maybe did as well. Cancelo from about 25 yards out looked as though he'd hit the top left-hand corner, and he did, but of the side netting rather than the inside netting.
That was some of your finest recovery work there, Jim. I thought it was in the back of the net too, because the side of the net rippled, didn't it? It was a great strike from João Cancelo. Thankfully for Lewis Ward, just wide of his right-hand post.
I reckon it styled it out. I don't think anyone noticed. It's still 2-0. Swindon 0. Manchester City 2. The thing is with João Cancelo, you wouldn't put it past him because of the catalogue of strikes that he has notched. One magnificent one against Newcastle recently. Here's Walker playing it forward, 2-0 to the Premier League side. Rodri picking up a ball out from the back and almost able to thread it through here towards Jesus, and Kessler Hayden has done really well. The 18-year-old has got a bright future ahead of him. He's looked the part tonight, the youngster on loan from Villa, and then he's got a drop of the shoulder, little mini Cruyff, gets away from Jesus and plays it across the back line. Conroy playing it out, and Walker then has to briskly get there ahead of Gladwin to divert it some 50 yards back to his goalkeeper.
I think he's been the pick of the Swindon team so far, Kessler Hayden. I really do. I think he's played really nicely, thoughtfully in possession. Of course, someone like Gabby Jesus, who's playing high and wide down the left side, and Cancelo has got a lot of room, so they've double teamed young Kane Kessler Hayden a lot over there, but he's coped admirably, really has.
I mean, some way short of Matty Cash in the big picture as far as Villa are concerned, but he's a player that you could imagine on the strength of tonight being a Premier League regular in the not too distant future. We're in 1 minute of stoppage time, and we're now out of it again as referee Darren England blows his whistle, and we've seen pretty much what we would have expected to see when the teams were announced. Swindon have certainly been game. They've played like a side in form, but Manchester City have been able to make the most of mistakes. Bernardo Silva on 14, Gabriel Jesus on 28, and at half-time of the county ground it is Swindon Town 0, Manchester City 2. Well, first of all, to report that there are no changes made by either manager at this stage. And secondly, a statistical note that City have scored first in 19 games in all competitions this season and have won all 19. So Swindon not only have got to defy the wage bill, the this, that and the other from a financial aspect, they've got to do something that no side has been able to do against Manchester City all season. And that's for 1-0, not 2.
I just want to see him create a couple of chances, Jim. That's all that the home fans want. Can we just rattle the City cage, even if it's just for a few solitary moments?
Well, they had a couple of moments in the first half. One wonderful ball in from Ian Dolo that almost found Simpson, and then Carl Walker had to make an excellent clearance as well. They've been very game. They've done themselves proud so far, Swindon, but the bottom line is they're 2-0 down as we begin the second half with Manchester City in a kit that is officially described as all peacoat, and they're kicking, no, me neither, kicking from right to left. Swindon in red shirts, white shorts and red socks, and they're attacking the town end of the ground away to our right hand side. And the ball is back with Zach Steffen. I'll go through the two teams for you in a moment. Steffen playing out from the back to find Rodri, and now to be worked by Ruben Diaz out towards Carl Walker and back again. So Swindon lining up, Ward in goal, Hunt, Conroy and Odi Mayo, Kessler, Hayden and Ian Dolo as wing-backs, Reid anchoring the midfield with Lydon and Gladwin ahead of him, and Simpson and McCurdy up front. Manchester City, Steffen in goal, Walker, Diaz, Ake and Cancelo, and then Rodri in the deepest of the midfield positions. Just break off as Cancelo brings it forward to find Ilkay Gundogan. From him to Kevin De Bruyne. Now worked out towards the right-hand side for Palmer, who checks and works it back for De Bruyne. Right-footed ball, stood up deep towards the far post, headed back down by Jesus and away from Conroy, who then can slice it clear a second time. Gundogan couldn't quite line up a right-footed shot. Mayo sorted that, and Swindon cleared their lines. In front of Rodri, De Bruyne and Gundogan, and they've got Palmer on the right, Jesus on the left, and Bernardo Silva, scoring the first goal, has been playing through the middle. Here's Carl Walker now for Manchester City, bringing it forward again, and out towards the right-hand touchline where Palmer, who's shown up really well, plays it back for De Bruyne. Manchester City leading by 2-0. Swindon's biggest ever FA Cup defeat came in this fixture more than 90 years ago. City put 10 past, actually a replay just days after a 1-1 draw here back at Main Road. Manchester City winning by 10-1 with Eric Brook, who was, until Sergio Aguero turned up, City's all-time leading goal scorer among the goals that day. Carl Walker brings it forward, and seeing the goalkeeper slightly off his line, has gone for the speculative attempt and has found only the City fans behind that goal away to our left-hand side on the Stratton Bank. 47 gone, it's 2-0 to Manchester City. Yeah, good start from City to the second half. Right on the front foot again, as you would imagine, on the halfway line, dictating play in Swindon territory. Carl Walker there, just trying to shrug off the challenge of Terry Simpson and then get his shot away. Unfortunately doesn't catch the shot well and skies it. You're listening to live coverage of the FA Cup on Talk Sport, thanks to Neutrogena T-Gel Therapeutic Shampoo. Always read the label. Jim Proudfoot and Andy Townsend talking you through the action. This the first of 9 games coming your way over the course of FA Cup third round weekend, culminating in Manchester United against Aston Villa, live from Old Trafford Monday night. Sam Matterface, your commentator, and you won't hear it anywhere else. It is live and exclusive to Talk Sport. Ball over on the Manchester City right. Bernardo Silva is waiting. Palmer plays it back for De Bruyne instead. Now Cancelo towards the edge of the box. Right-footed effort, checks back inside, turns it onto his left, then looking for his right again. McCurdy is in there, bustling around, and ultimately winning a free kick that I'm not even sure he was anticipating, but Darren England was on the scene, and the referee's given Swindon the benefit of the doubt about 6 yards outside the box. They trailed 2-0. Yeah, João Cancelo there, just taking too many touches on the edge of the box. Shifted it onto his left foot, then chopped back onto his right side, then back again on his left, and eventually just ran into red shirts, who just managed to grab the ball away from him, and then he concedes a free kick and pressure relieved. Conroy will play it forward, chested down by Cancelo in the centre circle for Manchester City. Ake working back for Ruben Diaz. Now to the Manchester City right hand side again for Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne, who scored in the quarter-finals last season, he scored in that final against Watford back in 2019. Rodri bringing the ball forward, drawing the challenge of Reed and playing it out to the right-hand side, flicked on by Gundogan, and the offside flag's up against Bernardo Silva.
Yeah.
Whose right-footed effort was saved by Ward anyway.
Just a couple of yards offside there. That first time pass on the edge of the box from Gundogan to Bernardo Silva. He was already going for the first pass in an offside position. Again, look, I just want to see Swindon just be a little bit more blatant about what they do. I really do. And I understand from their point of view, Ben Garner doesn't want tonight to disrupt what they do too much. They've a significant campaign ahead of them and a big tilt between now and the end of the season. They could get promotion, which would be astonishing for them. It'd be incredible. It'd be amazing. And it would mean, of course, a lot more to them than just winning a solitary FA Cup tie. But I do think in any football match, sometimes you have to adapt and you have to change course and change tact a little bit. And I feel that tonight, it's that night for Swindon to just occasionally try and throw the kitchen sink at City a little bit.
Yeah, it would be an astonishing achievement with a capital A in the context of where Swindon found themselves in the summer. Now, Lyme was in there very strongly, too strongly as it turned out. Free kick given against him for a foul on Joao Cancelo. Ben Garner taking over, just to put things in perspective, the 22nd permanent manager they've had in 21 years. Wow. 22 permanent managers. There are a fair few caretakers in that time as well, but 22 permanent managers in 21 years.
Yeah.
So it's just been a revolving door. It's been a basket case of a club, really, over the last couple of decades. It seems a long time ago now that they were rubbing shoulders with Manchester City in the Premier League, which they did back in the 93-94 season. Ake getting the better of McCurdy. Ball brought down now in the midfield by Ilkay Gundogan, just trying to thread it through, but Conroy winning it back for Swindon, playing it forward towards Reed, and then McCurdy is fouled by Cancelo, who indicates to the referee by moving his arms up and down around the side of his head that he thought that was a dive, and the referee has taken exception to Cancelo's reaction and he's going to call him over. It's a game that has been played in a really good spirit. I think it's fair to say McCurdy made sure the referee realised that contact had been made. But Cancelo is just going to be calmed down here by referee Darren England.
So you got a wide free kick. Louis Reed is over the ball. Yandolo is over there with him. But all the boys are waiting for something to be delivered towards that penalty spot. Don't disappoint them. Put it in there.
Yandolo runs over it. It is in towards that penalty spot from Reed. It was a nice delivery. Ake just defending the space, and that allowed Stefan to come out and get there ahead of McCurdy. Now City will be able to bring it forward. Palmer, De Bruyne to his left for Jesus. Reed knew he was going to try and cut inside and cut it out, and he's laid it back for Yandolo, the versatile defender who's got more than 100 games behind him for the club now, and it'll be played down towards the impressive youngster Kessler Hayden. Swindon knocking it out from the back, but they don't get as far as halfway. City have it back and will bring it forward here with Walker towards the edge of the penalty area. 8 gone second half. It's 2-0 to Manchester City. A long left-footed effort from distance, took a deflection on its way through and goes out of play from Palmer's attempt for a corner which will be taken on the City left.
Yeah, stepped inside on the left foot, Cole Palmer, about 24-25 yards out. Hit it hard, deflection, and it kind of made the ball loop a little bit. Looked like it, from our angle here, it might loop over Lewis Ward. It didn't. It went out for a corner.
Corner which will be taken on the Manchester City left-hand side. 4 making runs from the edge of the penalty area in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. The delivery followed them, but it was half cleared. Jesus able to pick it up. Back for Palmer, chipped over the top, and Jesus trying to roll Kessler Hayden. Couldn't get a touch on the ball before it had drifted out of play. It is a cold night here in Swindon. The flags are billowing away to our left-hand side, but it has stayed dry the way here, just within 5 miles of Swindon, heavy snow. Certainly between here and Marlborough, which, if you don't know this part of the world, is sort of the next town furthest south of Swindon. A lot of snow there, but no suggestion that this game was going to be off, and no inclement conditions here. It's been a good night for football. We've been treated to an excellent FA Cup tie as well, and Swindon have done everything that could have been expected of them, bar one error which was capitalised upon by Manchester City, who lead by 2-0. City have it again in the midfield with De Bruyne. De Bruyne to Gundogan. De Bruyne back to Cancelo, who's just tried to work Gabriel Jesus in. It's knocked away down the Swindon right-hand side, but they didn't get very far. It was Hunt's ball that was easily cut out, and now to be played forward again down the Manchester City right-hand side by Walker. Walker to Bernardo Silva, and back for Rodri. Jesus, arm above his head, it's just gone into the central position now for a moment for Manchester City, coming in off that left flank. De Bruyne back towards the halfway line for Ruben Dias. Now Walker working it out to the City right, getting a return ball and then finding Rodri back for Cancelo. It's easy possession this for Manchester City, in and around the edge of the Swindon box. It's played down towards Jesus, gravitating again out to that left flank. Cancelo getting the return ball from Gundogan. Heavy touch inside the penalty area, and that just allowed Reed, Conroy, the opportunity to come across and clear up and put it out of play for a throw on the City left, level with the edge of the Swindon penalty area.
Yeah, unlucky there, João Cancelo, from that left back position close to the touchline. Fired it into the edge of the box to Gabriel Jesus, got it back and ended up bearing down on the Swindon near post. Just couldn't quite get the shot away. City again still have the ball, and it's like a two-touch training session. No, very rarely do any of the City boys have more than a couple of touches on the ball.
Diaz had a couple, Walker had a couple. Palmer will just allow himself a few more as he controlled it, and he couldn't find a way through, so just intelligently works the ball back, and City will go back from whence they came. Now down towards the left-hand side. Jesus, who's spent a lot of the season in wider positions, and Pep Guardiola, a big admirer of what he does off the ball. And as City work it back towards the edge of the penalty area, there's a nasty clash there. And the Manchester City medical staff running on to attend to one of their players who's down, and one of them ran onto the field and the other didn't. The other just slipped a little double salco as he went over the touchline, but he's okay, and hopefully the stricken City player, I think it's De Bruyne, will be as well.
Yeah, it looks like Kevin De Bruyne, doesn't it? Just crossfield pass, 40-yard crossfield pass from João Cancelo. He's trying to go big actually to Cole Palmer on the far side. Didn't quite have enough pace on it. It was kind of hanging in the air above De Bruyne's head, and I think it was Yandolo who come flying out to thunder into him. He's back up on his feet.
Yeah, he's got the palm of his right hand to his head, just making sure there is no blood. He's fine and able to continue. You're listening to FA Cup Game Day live on TalkSport, and after us, Adam Cattrall and Carlton Cole will bring you the Sports Bar Weekend. Your chance to have your say on national radio tonight. 03717 223344 is the number. Get your calls in, have your say here on TalkSport from 10 o'clock tonight. And also good evening to our listeners in the United States, or good afternoon should I say, on Sirius XM FC. Hope you're enjoying the coverage of the best domestic cup competition in world football. Ilkay Gundogan taking this free kick and getting it past the wall and in. Everybody expecting a ball to be clipped in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and he just bent it around the wall. Great vision. Ward slow getting across his line, and Manchester City lead by 3-0.
I think the goalkeeper there is still lining the wall up and is still trying to make sure all bases are covered. And Gundogan just whips it around the wall, and Lewis Ward is scrambling to his left-hand side, to his near post, and he can't get there. And it's just it's a very accurate strike. It's a very clever free kick. But I'm not sure the goalkeeper was either set for it, Jim, or in the right position, because it went in too easy for me. That's not gone in the top corner. That's like bounced on the line as it's gone over the line. And again, I think that one might have been preventable had they just got organised that little bit quicker, and the goalkeeper might have been in a better starting position.
Well, he scored in the quarter-final win at Everton last season, and he scored in what is surely now destined to be a third-round victory at Swindon tonight. Manchester City leading by 3 goals to 0. And you think back last year, a fourth-round FA Cup victory at Cheltenham, where Pep rang the changes, and it was about this stage of the game that Cheltenham, having hung in there, scored and then led for more than 20 minutes. Manchester City got the job done, but they needed 3 in the last 9 minutes to do it. And judging by the team selection tonight, that felt like not a lesson learned for Pep Guardiola, but something he didn't want to repeat. He wanted this to be comfortable, and it has been comfortable. We've reached the hour, and City are good value for a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, no, they are. And to be honest with you, second half, McCurdy and Simpson up front for Swindon have not had a kick. They've not really been able to get it into any sort of area, to get it in the box. With that one free kick that Lewis Reed put in the box that was reasonably comfortably taken by Stefan. Apart from that, Swindon haven't really had a spell of possession. 3 or 4 passes in City half. It's all the... I'm sure it's Peacock, Jim, and not Peacoat. Do you think it's a typo with regards to that colour?
Oh, I'm colourblind, don't ask me. Here's Gundogan finding Jesus towards the edge of the penalty area. And it's a free kick to Manchester City again. This is a couple of yards outside the box.
Might be a penalty, Jim. I think he's given a penalty.
Well, Jesus, the man that went down, and he has. Darren England has pointed to the spot. And Jesus very quickly back on his feet with the ball in his hand. And he has the chance to score his second and Manchester City's fourth.
Yeah. The referee there just paused for a split second, had a little think about it, and then pointed straight to the spot. No real complaints from the red shirts, and it's Gabby Jesus.
So Jesus against Ward, addressing it right-footed, and it's saved by Ward. What a moment for the young man. Well, it hasn't been a night that he will particularly remember with a great degree of fondness until that moment. But he'll always be able to tell his children, his grandchildren, about the night that he saved a penalty to the English champions. Great moment for him. It was a poor penalty.
It was.
But he dived to his right-hand side and made a comfortable stop. And Lewis Ward keeps it at 3-0.
It was a poor pen. It really was. He's run up to the ball there, Jesus, and he sort of stopped almost as he got right on top of the ball. Had a little look at the goalkeeper, went to his left, goalkeeper's right, but it was a tame strike and a very, very straightforward bit of goalkeeping for Lewis Ward to keep it out. Crowd loved it. But again, you see, for Gabby Jesus, that I said to you before kick-off, Jim, for him tonight, like goals, I need goals. I should be getting goals here. They're important to me to get my numbers. And just run up and knock it in the back of the net. Forget the silly staggered run-up. You know, just go for it. Just step up to the ball, knock it in the back of the net. Because this is the sort of night for him. He's already got one in the first half. He should be walking off with a ball under his arm. And it's important for him, I think, to do that, as... You know, he's never probably going to dominate that 9 position for this team. He's always going to play up there occasionally or off one side. It's just the way it is for him. But he'll help himself a bit more if he gets some serious numbers.
Yeah, it was the stuttering almost the Jorginho run up towards the ball, and he stuttered, and he was expecting, I think, Ward to commit himself, and he just didn't. He just stood there. And Jesus then had nowhere to go, and he hit the ball with no power, tried to roll it into the net. And Ward made a comfortable save. The first yellow card of the night has been shown to Rodri, who's found Kessler Hayden. And it's a free kick that Swindon will take about 25 yards outside the Manchester City penalty.
Yeah, good run again from the right back in his own half. Drove over the halfway line, then started to angle his run infield. Rodri tracking back, just clipped his heels on the way back quite deliberately, quite blatantly. Gets himself the yellow card.
So another opportunity for Swindon to try and swing the ball inside the penalty area. McCurdy is standing some way behind the Manchester City back line in a deliberately offside position, 16 yards from goal. He won't make any attempt to try and play this, but it's all about the seconds. It's knocked short towards Conroy, who plays it across the edge of the 6-yard box. In fact, even closer to goal than that. And Ake, near the near post, forced to duck his head into it and steer it away for a corner. It's a well-worked set piece.
It was indeed. It was a nice ball from Ellis Iandolo, reversed it back for the run of Dion Conroy. It was unmarked and he just let it bounce. He couldn't quite settle it, but they settled for the corner.
And it's a corner which will be taken by Louis Reed. A right-footed away swinger towards the corner of the 6-yard box. That's knocked away. Counter-attack could be on here for Manchester City. Jesus bringing it forward. He's got Walker to his right. To his left is De Bruyne. De Bruyne didn't get there. Kessler Hayden. Boy, is he quick. I mean, Kevin De Bruyne is no slouch. But Kessler Hayden gave him 5 yards there over 30, and he beat him to the ball. A brilliantly timed challenge. He's had a fine night. Now at the other end, Simpson making his way forward. He's trying to get inside the area, went to ground looking for a penalty, got himself sandwiched between Ake and Ruben Dias, and there were no real complaints when the referee waved those penalty appeals away. They were from the fans, not from the players. Play now stops because of an injury upfield. I think Kessler Hayden hurt himself in making that a brilliant run and then challenge on De Bruyne. Tyree Simpson trying to make something happen at the other end, and it wasn't going to happen for him. City will make a change. James McAtee is going to be coming on.
Yeah, and actually since the missed penalty, since that moment, it's kind of energised everybody in the ground, and just by serving the ball forward, it's just lifted the spirits, I think, of the Swindon fans and actually the players. It has. They've responded to that moment as well. Look, they know they will beat here, and the game's gone. So it's now refreshing to see them still having a bit of a go and still not just sitting there rolling it around from side to side, just trying to run the clock down. Just see if you can, as I mentioned earlier, rattle a few cages, just try and test them, just work yourself against the best players, and it's been nice to see that since that penalty save, it's just lifted everybody a little bit, and they've done that, they've done it well.
A crowd tonight of 14,753, which is Swindon's biggest for a long time. And that includes just over 2,300 who've made the journey down from Manchester. Swindon are going to make a double change in a moment. Critchlow and Williams are the two players coming on. City have made the change. McAtee on for De Bruyne. And he at the moment is playing as the false nine. He's another versatile player, aren't they all, who plays ordinarily in central midfield. He made his Premier League debut as a substitute in the last 5 minutes against Everton, and he's making his FA Cup debut tonight. McAtee for De Bruyne. Swindon's first two changes are imminent, and we're getting to the stage now. I'm sure Ben Garner will be looking ahead to the game that he's talked about as being the more important of the two, which is Mansfield away, Swindon's next league fixture. We've got a quarter of this one remaining. Swindon currently just a couple of points off automatic promotion from League Two, a couple of places as well. They're fifth in League Two at the moment. And Forest Green running away with it at the top, 11 points clear of the Robins, but Swindon still in a great position to produce what would be a remarkable climax to an extraordinary 12 months in their history. Mostly there being a remarkable climax to this one tonight. 3-0 Manchester City lead it, and we're midway through the second half, Andy.
Yeah, and as you said, McAtee has come on for Kevin De Bruyne. He is absolutely right, Jim. He's in that false nine position. Jesus still off the left-hand side. Cole Palmer still off the right. Bernardo Silva, Gundogan floating in those little pockets. Rodri prompting from the base in that midfield. Just finding João Cancelo on the ball at the moment. So for City now, they want to keep the ball. They'd like to add to their tally.
Well, they didn't keep the ball. Cancelo lost it. Reed picked his pocket. Simpson tries to find a way forward. Rodri stopped him getting towards the edge of the penalty area. We've had a good physical contest between the pair of them, which the Spaniard won. Stefan took a chance, just got it away from McGurdy on the edge of his own 6-yard box, but Manchester City able to play out from the back. And for your fully fledged Premier League fix, look no further than TalkSport's Game Day podcast. Join Sam Matterface and Alex Crook for the reviews, interviews, analysis, and just a little bit of je ne sais quoi as well by listening on the TalkSport app or wherever you get your podcasts. Manchester City laced with je ne sais quoi, lead by 3-0. And bring it forward here with Rodri. Forward towards Cancelo. Cancelo has got Gabriel Jesus level with the edge of the penalty area. And it's played back instead towards Rodri. Rodri into the feet of Gundogan and straight back again. Now worked into the feet of Jesus and straight back again. And City just playing these neat little 1-2s and passing triangles, getting round the men in red. Cancelo drifting out towards the left flank, supplying the width this time. And now laying it back through the midfield to supply Walker, who's come from right back into a number 8 position. Now he's threaded in towards McAtee. McAtee with good strength gets towards the byline, goes down, no foul. And it's a goal kick to Swindon with 20 minutes to go on TalkSport. 3-0 City. Yeah,
like a training session for City now. They're almost using it that way. 1 and 2 touches you mentioned, no more than that. Don't need to do any more than that. Just keep the ball on the move.
So Swindon's double change will see the withdrawal of Odimeo from the back line and Gladwin from midfield, and Johnny Williams, former Premier League player from Crystal Palace, Welsh international, will come on. And he'll replace Gladwin, not deemed fit enough to start. He's just been suffering with a slight knock that he picked up against Northampton. Well, Williams at League 2 level really is a class apart. Critchlow comes into the back line as well. Ramoni Critchlow on loan from Huddersfield. And he has come on to replace Akin Odimeo on the left of the 3 centre-halves. Swindon 0, Manchester City 3. City with the ball. Ake's got it. Cancelo's ahead of him. Ake controls it, rolls the studs of his left boot over the top of the ball, stops the ball for a moment and then just sends it spinning back towards Ruben Dias. Now out towards Ake again. Ake into the feet of Ilkay Gundogan. Slightly heavy touch, which piqued the interest of McCurdy for a moment, but City maintaining possession. Rodri playing it out towards the Manchester City right, and then he goes back towards the edge of the box again for Dias. Dias now towards Ake, and Ake to Cancelo. This will be Manchester City's 11th away win in 16 games in all competitions this season, which is a pretty tidy return. Dias working it out towards Walker. Bernardo Silva, that little bit deeper since McAtee came on, and played it out towards the Manchester City right now, and McAtee and Palmer. The 2 youngsters in the team link up. Ake able to bring it forward some 20 yards, 30 yards, 35 yards. Little lay off Gundogan. They're finding Palmer. Palmer given a shove by Leiden, but staying on his feet. McAtee doing well. Ball inside the penalty area is knocked away. McAtee then able to pick it up again. They're ahead of Simpson. And it's worked back towards Cancelo. Cancelo to Gabriel Jesus. Bottom left-hand corner of the penalty area. Clever little nutmeg of Kessler Hayden. Into the feet of Ilkay Gundogan. Work back towards Ake. All of this Manchester City possession is on the fringe of the Swindon Town final third. In front of the open end of the ground, away to our left-hand side. The Stratton Bank that was terraced until not that long ago. Where the Manchester City fans doing their best to keep themselves warm, but it's been a very professional job from Pep's men tonight.
Yeah. I can imagine those younger City players, when they made the trip down, I'm assuming they came down yesterday, they'd have all thought 5 or 6 of us are going to be playing tonight, you know, and that's not the case, so they'll be itching to get on now.
Gundogan playing it forward to one of them, McAtee. Cleverly done by Gundogan, got the shot in on the turn. It's a decent stop from Ward. It might just have taken a slight deflection before it got to him, but he dived down to his right hand side, tipped it round the post, and out of play for a corner.
Yeah, a shot you'd expect your goalie to save, but you're right, it sort of bounced and pitched a little bit awkwardly in front of him, didn't it? And it looked a little bit of an awkward stop, but job done. He got it away from the goal. Now he's got to sort this corner out.
Corner which will be taken on the Manchester City left. Gundogan barely stopped the ball on the corner quadrant before tapping it short towards Palmer, who's taking on Williams. Checks back inside, then runs over it again, stops, checks again, lays it back edge of the area for McAtee. A left-footed effort which looked as though it was going way over, but it did dip. But it still beat the bar by about a foot, and Ward very grateful because he might not have had it covered. Ward takes the goal kick quickly, trying to get Ian Dolo forward. Ball played forward from him towards Simpson. Now Gundogan winning it back in the midfield for Manchester City. Played forward towards Gabriel Jesus, who scored one and seen a penalty saved. Bernardo Silva and Gundogan with the others for Manchester City tonight. Back for Ruben Diaz. Diaz bringing it forward towards halfway. Now goes out towards the right for Kyle Walker. A reminder that tomorrow we've got Millwall against Crystal Palace at 12:45. We've got Chelsea Chesterfield at 5:30. On TalkSport 2, Port Vale Brentford at 3 and Hull Everton at 5:30. And all the goals as they happen from around the country and around the grounds from Game Day Live from 3. Here's Bernardo Silva getting towards the edge of the penalty area, slipping it to his right-hand side. Another opportunity for Palmer to deliver back to Bernardo Silva, trying to take a touch and turn 6 yards from goal. And Hunt, grateful to be able to knock it away, concedes the corner.
Yeah, trying to walk it in really there. City, Cole Palmer might have been better placed to try and get some sort of shot on target. Didn't do that. Gave it back to Bernardo Silva. He's back to goal actually on the 6-yard line. Just couldn't engineer a fraction of space just to get a shot away.
15 to go, corner taken short, right hand side of the penalty area. It's worked by Palmer, trying to get himself into a crossing position. Lays it back instead for McAtee. McAtee taking a touch, which was a little bit heavy. Then it breaks off McCurdy. He's so quick that he rectified his own error. Then makes another one, rectifies that as well, because he's able to get back before Rodri. Rodri has dispossessed him on a dangerous area. McAtee trying to get towards the byline, then lays it back for Rodri. All hands to the defensive pump for Swindon, with the exception of Simpson, who stays as an isolated figure upfield. Palmer, good ball in. Gundogan getting towards the byline. Good save from the foot of Ward to deny McAtee a tap in, and Ian Dolo will get it further away, and Swindon will be able to regroup.
Yeah, and draw a breath, because that was good play from City there. Gundogan it was, getting right to the byline, cutting it back, but a red shirt in at the near post just to make that vital block and interception.
Sunday, Liverpool against Shrewsbury, 2 o'clock from Anfield. Nottingham Forest against Arsenal, 5:15 from the City ground. Both of those games on TalkSport. Tottenham's match at home to Morecambe is on TalkSport 2 from 2 o'clock on Sunday. Another effort from distance. Cole Palmer firing over the bar, got himself onto his left foot and let fly, but couldn't keep it down.
Tell you what he does well, Cole Palmer, like Riyad Mahrez, when he cuts in on his left foot, you're never quite sure whether he is actually going to hit it or chop or come back on the right foot and go to the dead ball line, go to the byline that way. He's very similar like that, Cole Palmer. He's got those same attributes where he mixes it up beautifully. He's prepared to come in on the left foot and on his natural side and hit it, but he's also very clever at shaping to shoot and then drawing that outstretched leg and then going back onto his right side and making something happen from there. He does that really naturally, very, very easy on the eye.
Foul by Simpson, free kick to Manchester City. You talk about Riyad Mahrez, he's not around for a bit now. He's out of the African Cup of Nations as well with Algeria, so missing tonight. Taking his place in the event in Cameroon for the defending champions, as Gundogan lays it back for Cancelo. Johnny Williams is in there, and as Rob Rodri, and all of a sudden it's 3 against 2. It's McCurdy, the angle's tight, he sneaked it in though, and Swindon have their goal. And listen to the reaction. This is what the FA Cup is all about. They're going to be beaten, they're going to be well beaten, but a side fifth in League 2 have scored against the English champions. It's Harry McCurdy with a trademark celebration in front of the town end on one knee. A moment he will never forget. And it's Swindon 1, Manchester City 3.
Well done. And you know what? His work rate tonight, Harry McCurdy, has been an example to everyone. It really has, because he has chased, he has put his head down and gone after things, and most of the time it's all been to no avail. Rodri gets caught about 10 yards into his own half, and then all of a sudden Johnny Williams has got options left, Tyrese Simpson, or he goes right to McCurdy. He chooses and waits for that run from McCurdy, drifts it into him on the right side, and then the striker takes a touch from a tight angle, just puts his head down and blasts it, fires it past Zach Steffen, and Swindon just for a moment were Manchester City's equal, and that's lovely to see.
Andy, the smiles all around us. We're at the back of the main stand. We've got Swindon fans in front of us, an overspiller journalist right immediately in front of us, but everywhere you look, really, Swindon fan, and they were punching the air with delight. Phone out to capture the moment for posterity. Big grins, because that's the moment that they won't forget. It's a moment McCurdy won't forget, and he's acting as cheerleader now to those in the town end as Swindon win another free kick. And this is only about 10 yards outside the penalty area. It's not in the shooting position, but it's an opportunity to work the ball in from that left-hand side. And a good delivery and finish here. And we've got a proper cup tie for the last 10 minutes. 3-1 at the moment.
Yep. Free kick in a wide position. Lots of bodies around the penalty spot. Whip it in with a bit of pace and quality, please.
So Critchlow is forward. Hunt is forward. Conroy there as well. Lydon lurking at the back post. In comes the delivery from Ian Dolo, and the header is over the bar. Critchlow that came to meet it, and he was a little bit off balance, turning his head towards it, and it's scooted off his forehead and gone over the top right-hand corner.
Yeah. But you know what? There'll be lots of lads in lower league teams watching this tonight, Jim. They'll be watching the game, listening, of course, as well to us. And I hope tomorrow, when they perhaps have an opportunity to really have a go at a Premier League team, one of the bigger ones, do it. And when Swindon have put it into the box, they've just looked a completely different team. They really have, and the FA Cup has always been about that. And I know times have changed, and the game always moves on, it always does. But don't ever overlook the fact that the best players don't like it when you put it in the box and get in there after it. If you want to play in front of them, you can do that all night. They're happy with that. They don't like it put in the box, and Swindon have done it, and they got themselves a goal.
Walker trying to make his way forward for Manchester City, and then it's laid back by Bernardo Silva. And the other aspect to it, these days, Andy, Premier League sides aren't used to it either. City, though, on the front foot here, an opportunity, and needed to be coming inside the penalty area first time from Palmer. It didn't. It's back for Bernardo Silva, who shot his block. Back to Palmer now. Oh, good goal. And the 3-goal cushion is almost immediately restored as it comes back to him on his left foot. It looked as though the chance might have gone, but he has rifled one into the top left-hand corner. And it's Swindon 1, Manchester City 4.
Yeah, actually, Cole Palmer should have spaced that across the 6-yard box, and McAtee would have had a tap in. But the ball come back to the young man. He got it on that left foot, and this time he hits it with his left foot into the roof of the net. Brilliant finish, beautifully struck, and they have their 3-goal cushion once more.
That's the cue for City to make another change, and it's Romeo Lavia, who is a Belgian under-19 international who can play either at centre-half or in midfield. He's going to come on for Gundogan, so it almost certainly will be a straight swap in the midfield. He's only 17, very highly regarded, and he is coming on for his second senior appearance for City and his first in this competition. Swindon are also going to make a change, and they're going to see Tyrese Simpson replaced by another teenager, Harry Parsons, who's been ripping it up in a loan spell up the road from here at Chippenham Town in the second tier of non-league football. He's got an 8-minute hat-trick to his name at that level, and he's come on now wearing 29. He's raw, but by all accounts he's a player.
Yeah, good. Whatever standard you're playing in, you knock 3 in 8 minutes, you're doing something right. So let's hope Harry Parsons gets just half a chance to maybe work Zach Steffen. That's all he wants to do. He just give me the ball, keep me involved. I'd love half a chance just to get a shot away. That's what he wants.
Here's Lydon, and the Aussies played it off Gabriel Jesus, who just limped away for a moment there. It's out for a throw, which will be taken on the Swindon right-hand side. Swindon 1, Manchester City 4 on Talk Sport. And you're listening to live coverage of the FA Cup as the ball goes back towards goal, and he's just got it away, and then takes the touch to get it past the nearest Manchester City player, and gratefully pounces on it. That was a back pass that was nowhere near him.
No, unfortunately, the goalkeeper, Lewis Ward, had gone out of the goals across the far side of the box because he wanted the ball played there. And unfortunately, the centre-half has turned around and played it blind, thinking he's between the posts, and the goalie's had to scramble back and just about got it before it goes over the line for number 5.
Everything is slow motion just for a moment. You could see where the ball was going. You see where the goalkeeper was going. Would one get there before the other? Well, he spared his teammates blushes. City on the front foot here are going to make another double substitution very shortly, and we're going to see Kaiki come on for his Manchester City debut, and we're also going to see Luke Mbete. It's a big ovation for Tyrese Simpson as he makes his way round towards the dugout. So when he was substituted off, he went off behind the goal and has just made a very slow jaunt all the way around the touchline. He's worked really hard tonight. Ball's put out of play. McCurdy's down receiving a little bit of treatment. I don't think it's anything more than cramp.
It is cramp.
He deserves cramp. He's put that many yards in tonight. He has done really well.
He's worked hard. You know what? He did great for his goal, and then after he scores it, he sprints off to the corner flag to celebrate, and he ain't really recovered from that moment, to be fair, but he's looking over at the side, and of course Swindon about to make changes, and they might just have to rethink it a little bit because Harry McCurdy looks like he can barely put one foot in front of the other.
So the two Manchester City players coming off are Ake and Palmer, and Luke Mbete will come on. He made his debut in the League Cup victory over Wycombe. He'll come on at player centre-half, and Cole Palmer is replaced by Kaiki, a Brazilian. He's only 19. He's already played in the quarterfinals of the Copa Libertadores, but he's making his debut for Manchester City tonight after his move from Fluminense, and he will come on. And Swindon are going to have to make changes as well because McCurdy's really struggling. He's being helped off the field here. He's going to get a massive ovation. Dabre will come on to replace him. That's Mohamed Dabre, who's made 4 appearances in the EFL Trophy, and he will come on now for just the 5th senior appearance of his career. And they're also going to be bringing on another midfielder, Ryan East, who arrived from Reading in the summer, and East is coming on to replace Reed. So those are the substitutions made by Swindon Town. Swindon 1, Manchester City 4. In the last knockings of it, Reed, it's going to be a fair bit of time to be added on. We've got 3.5 minutes to go. And a reminder that following us, you can have your say and reflect on everything that has happened tonight. Reflect on everything that's happened today as well. Plenty of talking points. A Philippe Coutinho move, amongst many other things, as Dabre makes an immediate impact of putting pressure on Ruben Dias. After us, FA Cup Game Day live on TalkSport with Adam Catterall and Carlton Cole with the Sport Bar Weekender, and your chance to have your say on national radio on 03717 223344. You can book your calls now. 3 minutes to go. Swindon 1, Manchester City 4 is the score. Critchlow playing out from the back into the feet of Williams, who's put under immediate pressure, and the ball goes out of play for a throw, which will be taken by City on the right hand side. Give us your synopsis of McCurdy. He's sort of dotted around the lower leagues, had a few clubs. He's only 24. He looks as though he could be playing higher than League 2, hopefully with Swindon next season, but he looks as though he's a League 1 player at the very least.
Yeah, he's got you can tell, Jim, he's got a career in football, hasn't he, Harry McCurdy, at a level. What that best level is for him, obviously don't know. Tonight, I've worked hard. He's run around, and when he's had a chance to be a pest, he's been exactly that. That's what you want from your strikers at this level. If you've got a good organised team, if you've got some nice footballers, but you've got a couple up front that just want to give everything, charge around like there's no tomorrow, then you've got a chance. And he absolutely did that and scored a lovely goal, scored a great goal. So he'll have a career, I'm sure he will, because he's got a want to run and to work people, and I don't think you can have enough of those people in your camp. Bernardo
Silva ended up at centre half for a moment there for Manchester City, and leads this latest attack from very deep. City haven't got too far, only as far as halfway. Swindon there able to win it back, and Conroy can work it into the feet of Dabra, who's been very lively in the first few moments since he's come on, but he can't make the challenge he wanted to there as Rodri brings it forward. Rodri slipping it down for Lavia. Lavia's ball inside the penalty area, takes a little touch and a deflection. Kaiki with a lovely little turn to buy himself a yard of space. Then Rodri fires one in, and it's hit the underside of the bar.
Wow.
I don't know whether the goalkeeper got a touch to it as Rodri fired it in from distance there. If Ward has got a touch on that, it's a fine save, but City very nearly getting goal number 5.
Well, he hit that hard, Rodri. That rattled the crossbar, the goalie's teeth, everything, that one. He hit that with some pace on it, Rodri. He can do that. We've seen him do that this season already to good effect. He put his head down and he really blasted that, and that was an important touch.
Williams trying to bring it forward. Rodri's knocked it away. Swindon just for a moment have a player that was Leiden, but he's okay. Kessler-Hayden taking the throw for Swindon. And then East will step forward past the challenge in the midfield. Kessler-Hayden over the top. Here's Parsons. We saw Stefan off his line and wasn't afraid to have an instinctive first-time effort. It was easily saved by Stefan as it turned out. Parsons didn't get the height that he needed. And we've gone into 3 added minutes here on TalkSport. Manchester City are going through. 4-1 the scoreline on what has been a hugely entertaining night, and thoroughly enjoyed by the supporters of both of these teams without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, because a good splattering of City fans have made the long journey, which is good to see. They've come down supporting their team, knowing that they might see a few of the younger faces get a few minutes. There's a good few of them out there right now, but you know, City have paid this trophy the ultimate respect tonight. They brought a team down here, whether it's because of the false conditions or not, who knows, but all they can do is turn up, and they put a star-studded first 11 out there this evening, and which is great to see. It's made the night, made it for everyone. All the Swindon fans, they go home for here, and they've had a little look at Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne in the flesh, and Ruben Diaz. Only used to seeing him on the box. Tonight they see him in the flesh.
4-1 Manchester City lead in stoppage time as Rodri gets towards the byline and wins another corner. Just to put things in perspective, it is a Manchester City starting lineup that had just short of 350 international caps. Swindon, for their part, starting lineup that had no international caps, although Williams off the bench has got a few and has now won a free kick as City took the corner short, and a yellow card is shown for the challenge on Williams. The counter-attack stopped in its infancy. I think it's McAtee who is the second City player in the book. Now we're in the second minute of stoppage time. Swindon 1, Manchester City 4. A very enjoyable start to the third round weekend.
And there will be some shocks, there will be. And I think the teams that do cause an upset will be those that just mix their game up a little more than Swindon have tonight. You know, Swindon can be well proud of their efforts. Formidable opponents. Look, this Manchester City team rolls everything over in the Premier League right now, so for them tonight this was a daunting task, but they've manfully gone about it. They really have.
Free kick, one on the Swindon right hand side by Kessler-Hayden. This might be the last chance that Swindon get to try and get it forward quickly. They've actually passed it up and just worked the free kick short. Back towards Conroy. Conroy, the Swindon captain. One Swindon fan in front of us urges his team to shoot. East will work it out, and it would have been a 70-yarder. Kessler-Hayden tries to bring it forward, and that is the last touch of the night. Manchester City starting their attempt for Wembley glory with a comfortable win at Swindon, every bit as comfortable as the team sheet suggested it would be. But Swindon have given a really good account of themselves. The League Two side had a couple of big moments. Harry McCurdy with the goal, and Lewis Ward with a penalty save from Gabriel Jesus, but ultimately, as was always likely to be the case, in perfect playing conditions against a side that like to play out themselves from the back, Manchester City got the job done with relative ease. Bernardo Silva, Jesus, Gundogan and Cole Palmer scoring the goals. Swindon had their night, and the money will go a long way towards their promotion bid, but the bottom line is Manchester City have got the job done very comfortably, and they've won at Swindon tonight by 4 goals to 1.